He was 21 years old. The government shot him in his sleep. Then they lied about it for decades. The true story of Fred Hampton. At 4:45 in the morning on December 4, 1969, 14 Chicago police officers raided an apartment on West Monroe Street. They fired approximately 99 shots into that apartment. The people inside fired exactly one. One bullet came out. 99 went in. When it was over, 2 people were dead. Fred Hampton was one of them. He was 21 years old. He was asleep in his bed when the first bullets hit him. Evidence later showed he had been shot twice in the head while lying in bed. The police told the press it had been a fierce gun battle, that they had responded to fire from inside the apartment, that the occupants had attacked first. They were lying, and it would take the American public years to understand how completely. This is the story of Fred Hampton. Not just how he died, who he was, why the government was afraid of him, and what the truth, when it finally came out, revealed about power in America. Fred Hampton grew up in Maywood, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. From childhood, he was the kind of person people naturally followed. He joined the NASP as a teenager and built the local youth chapter from a handful of members to nearly 500. At 19, he joined the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party and became its deputy chairman. By 20, he was one of the most effective community organizers in Chicago. He organized free breakfast programs that fed children before school. He helped form the Rainbow Coalition, bringing together Black, Latino, Puerto Rican, and white working-class groups around shared struggles. He could speak with a kind of energy that moved people. His speeches filled rooms. People left believing change was possible. J. Edgar Hoover called the Black Panther Party the greatest threat to the internal security of the United States. The FBI operated a program called COINTELPRO, designed to surveil and disrupt political organizations it considered dangerous. Fred Hampton was watched. His phone was tapped. His movements were monitored. An FBI informant was eventually placed inside his organization. The FBI provided the Chicago Police Department with a floor plan of the apartment on West Monroe Street. The floor plan had been drawn by William O'Neill, the FBI informant inside Hampton's organization. It showed where everyone slept. It showed where Fred Hampton slept. The police arrived before 5 in the morning. Hampton had reportedly been given secobarbital, a strong sedative, the night before. Witnesses later said he appeared heavily sedated and struggled to stay awake. The officers entered through the front and back simultaneously. They fired almost immediately. Mark Clark, a 22-year-old Panther from Peoria sleeping in the front room, was killed almost instantly. The single bullet investigators attributed to those inside the apartment was likely discharged reflexively after Clark was struck. Fred Hampton was shot during the initial barrage. The shooting paused. Officers entered the bedroom. More shots were fired into him while he lay in bed beside his pregnant partner, Deborah Johnson. She survived. Their son, Fred Hampton Jr., was born less than a month later. His father never met him. The Chicago Police Department and the Cook County State's Attorney's Office claimed the Panthers had fired first, and that officers acted in self-defense. Most of the country believed them. Then investigators, journalists, and attorneys examined the apartment more closely. They counted bullet holes. They mapped trajectories. Nearly every shot had traveled inward into the apartment from police positions outside. The evidence of a prolonged two-sided gun battle simply was not there. The Black Panther Party opened the apartment to the public. Thousands of people walked through it themselves. The official story did not match the physical evidence. A civil lawsuit later revealed more details about the FBI's involvement, the floor plan, the informant, and the sedative given to Hampton before the raid. In 1982, the families reached a settlement with federal and local authorities for $1.85 million. No government agency formally admitted wrongdoing. But the evidence never changed. 99 bullets in, 1 out. A floor plan from an FBI informant. A heavily sedated 21-year-old man shot in his own bed. Fred Hampton was 21 years old. His son had not yet been born. The work he was building had barely begun. To many observers, the raid looked less like a gun battle and more like an execution. Fred Hampton believed poor and working-class communities had more in common with each other than with the systems exploiting them. He believed organized communities could feed children, protect neighborhoods, and demand accountability from institutions that failed them. The FBI considered that dangerous. Not because Hampton controlled an army, because he could organize people. Fred Hampton Jr. later became an organizer himself and continued his father's legacy in Chicago. The breakfast programs organized by the Panthers helped reshape public conversations around child hunger and community aid in America. The man they killed at 21 years old is still remembered because the ideas he represented did not disappear with him. They killed him, but they could not silence him. Fred Hampton was born August 30th, 1948. He was killed December 4th, 1969. He was 21 years old.